This is me. You have no idea who I am now. This is 66 point. This time of year, people are all taking stock of their lives. I say leave your livestock alone and get out of town.
Do we need my mixer?
Are we on?
Yeah.
No, we're going to do it all right there. In fact, you're better off with Muffins, the muffin method, doing that. Sure happy it's Thursday.
Because to see your head, your giant...
Wow. It's that lump 2 feet above your ass. Hi. Suddenly I'm channeling a cooking version of Bob Ross. What's the worst that could happen? Because it's like 10 a.m. and we're going to make some brunch, we're going to make some blueberry muffins. You like blueberry muffins?
I love blueberry muffins.
Pretty much all this takes is, for the dry, we've got some cake flour, which I prefer for muffins over
That makes
AP.
sense.
Over AP flour. It's lighter, it's not as tough when it starts to beat up. 2 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons, oh my god, don't put 2 tablespoons in. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and we've gone ahead and sifted those together to a bowl here. So we have those ready. On the wet side, we need some oil. So here's what we're gonna do. First of all, having everything together, this recipe calls for a 380 degree oven. Start. Anything in there we have to worry about?
No, we don't keep stuff in our oven. Dad.
That does fit. Oh, what are you trying to say? She's referring to the fact that I have a bowl that's about 3 times this size, that the only place you could store it is in the oven. So I store all my bowls like this in the oven.
That bowl probably couldn't fit in our oven.
It is a tiny bowl.
It is a really small oven.
But it's cute. So, we're going to do the wet ingredients. And the wet ingredients are a cup of yogurt. And I used plain yogurt, but because the yogurt comes in 6-ounce containers. No recipe in the world calls for any sort of 6-ounce anything. So I had to buy 2 of them. And I bought a plain yogurt, and I bought a vanilla to fill out the top, just to give it that little, no good reason, just a little extra flavor. Why not? Wet ingredients. And sugar, as you know in baking, is considered a wet ingredient. A spoon type device? Yes. Hi. So we're going to mix all our wet ingredients, which is a 1/2 cup of oil, a cup of yogurt, a cup of sugar, and get those all nicely blended. And probably an egg. I think an egg should go in there.
Why not?
I'm using such a low protein flour on this. With the protein from the egg, and that's why I use low protein flour. Because if you had a high protein flour like all purpose or bread flour and an egg, you'd have so much protein that this would be just a chewy, you want a nice, light, fluffy, sort of happy muffin. And it's a happy
muffin.
Now, the muffin method.
The muffin method. There's a muffin.
There is a muffin. There's a muffin method. What it is you want to stir it again because of the protein. You want to stir it as little as possible. We're not worried about that. Once the flour's in there, though, it's pretty much over. So we're gonna do 2 things. First thing we're gonna do is we have a 1.5 cups of blueberries. We're gonna pull, I don't know, about a 1/2 cup out and set them aside for a second, just because we're gonna need those in a second. Then the flour and stuff that we've sifted. We're going to put all but just a little bit, and we're going to put the big amount of blueberries in here with that flour, and we're going to give it a toss. There's a rogue blueberry. And we're just trying to cover the blueberries with a little bit of flour, and what that does is when you go to cook them, they'll want to stay in suspension rather than just fall to the bottom of your mix. But I also don't want to not have the rest of this flour in there. Now we're adding all the rest of this. All happiness. You're going to stir this 10 times.
Oh,
so you do 10 good stirs, but...
I don't do 2. This is not good stirs.
My guess is it's because you've got a spoon that's the size of a teaspoon there.
Probably.
But what you're trying to do is just bring it all together with as little stirring as possible. You don't want to get it all together. You don't want dryness in there. Now we're going to drop in the blueberries that we did earlier, and you're going to just incorporate them.
Why am I doing this?
It's all come together. You can still see little flakes of flour that aren't dissolved. That's fine, because when this cooks, they will. And you'll notice that 1/2 cup of blueberries that we didn't put in here, we also didn't roll in flour. I'll tell you about that in a second. We have our 12-part muffin thingy. We're just going to give it a shot. We're just going to run a quick little bit. You know how muffins are. They're going to stick. And now, the fun part.
And things like this can be sped up.
watch this.
Those all being full, now we're going to take our blueberries and put a couple on top, or 3, 4, 5, whatever, on top of each one of these. And just press them down just a little, just to get them. It looks pretty when they come out of the oven. You have those blueberries that you can see on top.
Wait. One of those muffins. That's the kind of thing people on YouTube do. I didn't see any blueberries on top of one of those muffins. Okay, well I need to take one off of this because there's 6 there.
Aww. This is just me. This is sugar. I get it at my local grocery store back in the bakery department.
Pretty.
It adds this little sort of crunchy thing at the top. That's really nice. So we are going to go ahead and stick those into the oven.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do this about 20 to 25
In
minutes.
the middle rack?
Sure. Where do you think most even places? So set it for 20 minutes. And in 20 minutes we'll take a look at it. The recipe's 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to look at it early. Every oven temperature is different. Do you know yours? Is it right for the most part? You have an oven thermometer in there. Not every recipe calls for baking powder, but when you do see baking powder, you're almost always going to see an acid with it. In this case, it's the yogurt.
Yogurt! I totally forgot we used yogurt.
But a double-acting baking powder, which is what this says. You'll see it actually says double-acting. That means it acts twice. It acts once under a chemical condition, which is the acid from the yogurt acting against it, and once in a heat condition. When it gets wet, it will expand. So you get double action, allegedly. I don't have my crossbow, but I am sure I just saw a zombie go through the living room. And they were drinking what? Do you know what they were drinking last night? Gin?
Apparently.
I did not spend my 20s blowing $50 a day on alcohol, which I see happening around me quite a bit.
Yeah, right? Well, let's just stand here
Yeah,
look at each other for 20, 25
And so we've been watching these, and it's been about 27 minutes now. And I'm gonna grab these out of here. Ow, ow, ow. So here they are. And these are maybe a little browner than they need to be, but there was a little bit of white left on them, and I get iffy about that. So mine always end up a little darker than they probably need to be. You could probably pull yours out earlier. It said 20 to 25 and went like 27. Probably should let them cool down for a few minutes before you try it. Never settle. What was going on off camera is very odd. Shoes. You guys don't even have plates.
What? We have tons of plates.
Real china.
Oh.
The longer these sit, the easier in my opinion, anyway. There we go. Nice. Hot. Very hot. Very muffin. Let's see what it looks like. Oh my god, we're gonna get lucky here. Oh, a little steam coming out of it.
Yeah.
That's the money shot, baby. So that's it. I think we covered everything.
I think so too.
Don't cook like my daughter.
Don't cook like my father.
See you next time. This is me. You have no idea who I am. I'll let her worry about that.
Tune in every Thursday.
Tune in every Thursday to find out who I am.
Rate, comment, subscribe. I think I say a different thing every time.
Wait,
rate, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. Don't, whatever. Okay.
Don't what?